Roger, Roger. Check one. We got us a content cop coming out on your boy, The Game Theory. Mr. MatPat, we're coming for you with a new content cop. It's your boy, iDubbbz here with another content cop coming at you. And we're going to be talking about the Game Theorist. So, Game Theory, he's probably going to do his next videos on, let me guess, this is going to be a real hard one. Insert Jeopardy music. Yeah, probably Mario, Pokemon, probably Cuphead at some point in time, and maybe, potentially, possibly, we're going to be talking about a World War II video because of Call of Duty World at War. Ding, 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 ding. Did I win the grand prize? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end that segment right there. This is my everlasting commitment to dress up in various costumes for Halloween. This video will probably be demonetized because of this bad boy. It's a pretend toy gun that is clearly orange, but this will probably trigger YouTube and demonetize this video. So be kind and click that like button and share this. At the very least, I can get a few extra views. So yeah, have some mercy here. This isn't an actual walkie-talkie. It's just made of plastic, and this whistle doesn't work. Took all the steam out of my intro, man. I had a whole thing set up with that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is What You Missed News, the news you might have missed this week in video gaming. So we're going to be talking about quite a few stories, some interesting, some very serious, some very fitting to my costume today as a police officer. So let's jump right into it. The Nintendo Gamecube controller is now going to be working with the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo 4.0 update has allowed GameCube controllers to be working with the USB peripheral, the Wii U's USB adapter. So basically you have to go into the settings and you have to allow for the Switch to accept wired controllers, then plug the adapter in, plug the controller in, choose to pair the controllers, press L and R, and the controllers will be able to be used. You will not be able to use the ZL commands because there's not a ZL button and there's no home button, so you won't be able to go home. Some people are having issues getting it working because it's not really official. So there you go. Probably something that's going to be coming in the future when it's more refined. With more Nintendo news, we're talking about the Nintendo 3DS XL, which is going to be the SNES edition that has been revealed for the US. This is going to retail in price $199 on November 27th, and it's currently up for pre-order if you guys want to pre-order it. This is a really nice looking Super Nintendo themed 3DS. This also comes with Super Mario Kart, so this is one of the best Super Nintendo games, but it's probably the worst best one. Does that make sense? It's kind of an oxymoron. You can have some of the greatest games that were ever created for a system, but at some point in time, one of them has to be the lowest on the scale. And I think this one isn't the best one. It's really good, again, but because of the split screen and how it worked with Mode 7, it's very primitive. I'm not saying it's not fun and great, but at the same time, it's very primitive. And what we have today is after multiple iterations of refined Mario Kart, so going back to this one might be very difficult for a lot of people to do. So NFD Sales are showing that Destiny 2 took September's top spot for 2017. Even with all of the game releases, console releases, things like that, it seems that Destiny 2 is one of the highest selling games, and it might be the highest selling game for the entire year. But I think Mario Odyssey is going to take that title, honestly. If there were more Switch owners, I could almost guarantee you that Mario Odyssey would take that title. I think the only reason another game will beat Mario Odyssey is just for the simple fact that people wouldn't have the system. I don't think Ultra Sun and Moon will take the top spot of most sold games for the year just because of how late it's coming out and the fact that it's a sequel and a lot of people don't buy Pokemon sequels as opposed to the original entry into the game itself. With all that said, again, Destiny 2 is a decent game. I think it's a great game to try out. Try it, take it back if you don't like it, sell the game if you don't like it. That's all I can say to you. If you see the gameplay and you think it's good and you think you would enjoy it, then play the game and don't have other people influencing your decisions. What you like is what you like. So here's something interesting. Rockstar didn't think GTA 5 single-player DLC was possible or necessary. Now that's a quote. The long and the short of this story is that they were working so hard on GTA 5's next generation versions and it took so long for them to get it right. They said that the campaign was 3 stories in one, 3 games in one, essentially, is what they were trying to portray it as. There was no need to do this because there was no time or resources that they could put towards it. They had other games in particular that they were focusing on as well, which was Red Dead Redemption 2, and other games as well on top of that, where they were dealing with all the resources being pooled for Grand Theft Auto 5 itself, and then, hey, we don't have the ability to send a team off to do DLC and stuff like that, so they didn't think it was possible, but they also didn't think it was necessary because the game was so big and fleshed out. As they said, it was 3 games in one. So the first 13 games for the original Xbox have been announced for Xbox One compatibility. This is 1080p resolution with better loading and frame rates as well. Better frame rates doesn't mean 60 FPS, but it's always good to get an increase in resolution and frame rates. Usually you only get one. So the list of games are detailed right here. I'll pop them on the screen for you. I think it's pretty interesting that these games are coming back. I think it's really cool because the more games you have, the better. The more options you have, the better. Again, that's all it comes down to. When you have a better selection and a better library than your competitor, you're always going to win. Even if your hardware is not the absolute best, the creme de la creme. Nintendo's proven it time and time again. Sony's proven it time and time again. This is how it works. But that's the gist of the story, so that's really, really sweet. Former Bioware dev says EA is moving forward to open world microtransaction focus. This is interesting, I guess. You can see with EA closing certain studios down and how it works. This is a former Bioware dev, which means he worked on Mass Effect. I think it's kind of jaded when former developers of crap games come out. Like, Mass Effect 3 wasn't a horrible game, but the ending was ridiculous. And then the new Mass Effect that recently came out had some really big problems and issues. And these studios sit here, and these developers sit here, and they're like, oh, the gamers, they want this crap. Oh my god, it's so garbage, the industry today. Well, you created that. You created that, developers. You allowed them to do this. You allowed them to worm in microtransactions. You allowed them to work in open world mechanics into every single game, man. You know, look, when I'm playing my Mario Brothers, I really don't want an open world. I'm sorry. I think Mario Odyssey is going to be great. I'm not saying that it's not. But I think the Mario 64 approach, where it had linear levels, and then you could go into the level and explore the open world level and then come out and go back into a different level, a different section, is a better way of handling it instead of just saying, here's a massive giant open world. Now, Mario Odyssey is kind of doing that, but at the same time, that's how I feel about it personally. There's certain games I would want to explore in an open world environment, Fallout, Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, but there are other games that I just wouldn't. I don't like that. I think that EA is doing this primarily because of Destiny 2. We just saw the sales. It did great. Destiny 1 is doing great. Bungie's doing great with money making. Some people don't like the game. A lot of people don't like the game, but at the same time, that's what I think is going on. So you guys can read over the story in the article. But that's, again, the gist of it, that he goes into detail and discusses why he's saying that they're going to be moving forward in that kind of way. Games as a service, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign will take 5 to 7 hours to complete. Again, not too much to the story. They related it and correlated it to Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2. So I'm pretty sure you can take Battlefield 1, put a Star Wars skin on it, and there you go. That's what you got. With that in mind, do you think it will be a great buy? I don't know. You could buy the old Battlefront 2 for a fraction of the price, and you could get a way longer campaign, single player, multiplayer as well, because the servers are back up. So that really is, again, based upon you and your wallet and your needs as a gamer. Now, this is what I want to conclude on. This is a very serious story, so we're not joking around, but this is a fitting costume for this. NeoGAF goes dark after sexual misconduct allegation against the owner. This is bad stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very serious. If you have dealt with sexual assault, I feel bad for you. I have first-handed in my lifetime had to deal with stuff like this as well. I want to say that right now, I don't think anyone should be sexually assaulted. I don't think anyone's entitled to that, man or woman. It goes both ways. I assure you, it goes both ways, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sexually harassed multiple times in the military and out of the military. It wasn't that big of a deal for me personally, but at the end of the day, I can see how it can get very extreme and very serious with other people. I don't want to go into details about all the things that I've had to deal with in life, but I've tried to always do the right thing. The long and the short of this story is very unfortunate, and what I've come to understand with very light reading, because I really don't want to read into a lot of this stuff, is that the owner had gone on a trip with someone, attempted to shower with them, and then treated them poorly when they were rejecting him. They didn't want him to shower with them. And that's one story that has come out. This is allegedly against the owner. I don't want to get sued, man. I don't know anything unless you're convicted in a court of law. Maybe you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But there are postings to support that this actually did happen. Again, allegedly did happen. At the end of the day, did it not? I don't know. But since NeoGAF has come back online, reopened, users have revolted, and there have been a mass amount of mods over there resigning because of this. There's a lot of postings of really, really screwed up stuff, jacked up stuff, talking about showering, talking about porn, sex topics, things like that. I just stay away from NeoGAF for a while, ladies and gentlemen. It's unfortunate that this site has come to this, and it's unfortunate that things like this happen. But at the end of the day, once again, people are people. People aren't going to stop being people. If you are a victim of sexual assault and you really do feel assaulted, not anything else, you really do feel like your rights were violated and you were assaulted, you need to report it to authorities immediately. You need to work out the situation. You need to tell the person, hey, stop doing that. Don't do it again. If they do it again, you know what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is taught to you at school, and you shouldn't be afraid to report if your personal human rights are violated. I fought for your freedoms, so use your freedoms to do the right thing. Once again, I'm not targeting anyone, and I want to conclude on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this What You Missed news. Leave me a big thumbs up if you did. Please like and share this. Once again, YouTube will probably be very angry about this, but I really don't care. I like dressing up in silly costumes for you. I think it's quite funny and quite silly to do so. I hope you found this entertaining, and if you did, once again, leave a like. If you didn't, leave me a thumbs down and tell me some constructive criticism that I can do to make this show better. Whew! I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming. God bless, and thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen.